Well, I finally tested the Big Agnes Zoom UL sleeping pad, and I gotta say it was way more comfortable than I was expecting. I had done some little test naps at home and not so great, but having it out here in the elements, it definitely performed better than I was expecting as far as the comfort went. I also used the Gossamer Gear 8-inch foam sleeping pad underneath it, and I think that paired together is going to make a really good system for my next backpacking trip. This thing weighs next to nothing. Fold it up and use it as a seat rest. Halfway through a hike, you can use it as a yoga mat. I put it under my sleeping pad to add R value and to keep my sleeping pad from slipping around on my tent floor. Or you could even fold it up and use it as a back support in your frameless backpack. So this thing is like 20 or 30 bucks, totally worth it. I highly recommend it for your next trip. Since we were car camping, I just used my trusty Thermarest compressible pillow, and the temps last night probably only got down to 50, maybe 55. It might not have even reached 50. So I used my 40-degree Enlightened Equipment quilt and a sleeping bag liner from Sea to Summit. I always bring a liner just to keep my quilt clean so I don't have to wash this as often, but this did a really good job. I love this thing and it worked well for these temps. A lot of people said that the Big Agnes Zoom UL sleeping pad was not accurately rated with its R value. I haven't tested it low enough to really test that, but at a 50-degree night with just this and the Gossamer Gear pad, I think it did really well. It was not very loud. A lot of people were worried about the loudness, and honestly, it's pretty quiet. So just to give you a glimpse at what the noise level is like, it's really not bad. I'm gonna lay on it for a second so you can see what that sounds like. So not that bad, not that noisy, way less noisy than the Neo Air, and at only £1, this thing is totally worth it. But I will say it's pretty noisy when it's deflated. Here is a noise test. It usually takes 1.5 minutes to inflate this to my liking, maybe 2 minutes for people who like it really firm. I did have to top it off halfway through the night. It did lose a little bit of its cushion, but that wasn't a big deal. It was just, took a couple of breaths and it was fine. The only thing I don't like about this sleeping pad is the deflate valve. There is not a mass deflate. The inflate and deflate are one valve. So deflating is a little slow. It does have the burp feature where you can dial in the fit and get a little bit of air out if it was a little too firm for you. But to deflate, all you have to do is use this little tab that's on the cover and push it into the seal, and it kind of stays in place, and then you can roll your sleeping pad shut and you will get all the air out. It just takes a little bit of time. From there, all you really have to do is fold it and roll it up. I would just go like this, fold it in thirds, and then roll it closed. So, not a bad system. I just wish they had a mass deflate valve. It would make packing up camp a lot simpler. And there you have it. That is the Big Agnes Zoom UL sleeping pad, weighing in at £1. This is your next backpacking sleeping pad.